France is at a crossroads. A president weakened, his government unravelling, and a challenger cheered on by thousands, promising a break from the old order. In Bordeaux, Marine Le Pen takes aim at Emmanuel Macron. Her words echo far beyond the rally, into the heart of France's political future. France's political stage is in turmoil. President Emmanuel Macron, weakened by record-low popularity and facing his third prime minister in just over a year, is grappling with budget talks that could make or break his presidency. Meanwhile, Marine Le Pen, France's far-right leader and parliamentary head of the National Rally, is seizing the moment. On September 14th, before a crowd of some 7,000 supporters in Bordeaux, Le Pen delivered a blistering attack on Macron's leadership, presenting her party as the only true alternative to a system mired in crisis. She accused Macron of paralysing the country while denouncing far-left groups for stoking unrest through protests and street violence.
Because if the French people continue to progressively restrict French President Emmanuel Macron's institutional capacity for action through increasingly thin parliamentary support, it's because after 8 years, they yearn for a different policy. To aspire to a different policy in electoral matters, this is called alternation. I've said it before, and I'll repeat it. Alternation is normal. In a democracy, it's healthy, it's essential.
Le Pen accused Macron of obstructing democracy by continuing to appoint loyalists from his shrinking camp instead of allowing voters to decide.
The short-lived Prime Minister François Bayrou planned to increase French taxes by 20 billion euros. According to him, there was no choice. You know, like those ultra-liberal regimes of the 1980s who coined the phrase, "There is no alternative." But nothing could be more mendacious. For years, we have established a simple principle. Before asking the French to make the slightest effort, the state must drastically eliminate dogmatic and toxic policies for the country and reduce its expensive lifestyle. National priority for access to housing and social assistance. Tomorrow, we will do it. National priority in public procurement for our businesses. Tomorrow, we will do it. Drastically reducing regular and irregular migration flows. Tomorrow, we will do it. Reducing our contribution to the European Union to free up the billions that our police officers, our healthcare workers, and our teachers so desperately need. Tomorrow, we will do it. Just as we will reduce toxic government spending, billions in subsidies are being poured into wind turbines and solar panels that disfigure our landscapes, weaken our nuclear power plants, and send your electricity bills soaring.
Le Pen's words triggered thunderous chants of Marine President from the audience, underscoring her enduring appeal among a disaffected electorate. The National Rally strategy is deliberate. While Jordan Bardella, the 29-year-old president of RN and Le Pen's protégé, focused his speech on migration, the EU, and economic decline, Le Pen positioned herself as the stateswoman, measured but resolute, insisting her party was not an agent of chaos.
The crisis France is going through will not be resolved by a simple casting change, by a waltz of interchangeable and anonymous ministers. It requires a profound break with 8 years of Macronist politics that is nothing more than socialism, only worse. To trust is to admit that only a return to the polls will restore the stability the country craves. Either the President of the Republic dissolves the National Assembly to organize new legislative elections, or, in the event of repeated deadlock, he will have to resign himself, as former French President General Charles de Gaulle did.
The mood in Bordeaux was jubilant but uncompromising. Supporters interviewed outside the venue voiced their frustration with Macron's revolving door prime ministers and backed Le Pen's call for dissolution. Beyond the spectacle in Bordeaux lies the deeper struggle that will define France's political future. While Macron seeks stability, Le Pen is already looking toward 2027, but faces her own formidable obstacle. In March this year, Le Pen was found guilty of embezzling European Parliament funds, accused alongside 24 other RN officials of diverting close to €3 million to pay France-based staff. She was handed a 5-year ban from public office, a sentence she denies and is appealing. Her appeal will be heard on January 13, 2026 at the Paris Court of Appeal, with a ruling expected by summer. Judges fast-tracked the case to keep deliberations clear of the 2027 campaign calendar. The ruling could make or break her ambitions. For now, Le Pen remains defiant, telling supporters she fully intends to run. Yet her party is preparing fallback options. 2 strategies are reportedly being explored. First, if RN wins a majority in a future snap election, it could legislate an amnesty bill by amending the penal code, effectively removing the criminal status of the embezzlement charges. RN currently holds 123 of 577 seats, making it the largest opposition party, but far from a majority. Second, her lawyers could use a snap election to force a constitutional challenge. By filing candidacy papers and having them rejected, Le Pen could push her case through administrative and constitutional courts, potentially overturning the provisional ban in time for the 2027 vote. Meanwhile, Macron has dismissed talk of resignation or fresh elections, even after appointing his 4th Prime Minister in under 18 months. But the mood is shifting. Chants of Macron demission are growing louder at RN rallies, with Bardella openly suggesting the president could be forced out under pressure. Le Pen's long shadow over French politics remains unbroken. Her appeal trial may yet derail her presidential ambitions, but with Bardella rising as her possible successor and Macron's authority visibly crumbling, the far-right senses opportunity. The battle lines are clear. Macron's shrinking coalition struggling to hold the centre, Le Cornu scrambling to push through a budget, and Le Pen waiting, impatiently, combatively, for the collapse that could bring her, or her protégé, to the gates of power in 2027.